Hello dear students, welcome to English class. Today let us start another lesson, that is Galileo lesson number 3. Before starting the lesson, there are some pre-reading tasks. Some questions are there. Let us discuss the questions. First one is, name some heavenly bodies. Answer is stars, planets, meteors, asteroids. Next one is, what is astronomy? Astronomy is the science of stars, planets and the universe. Next question is, name an Indian astronomer. Any one Indian astronomer they asked, so Aryabhatta is a famous Indian astronomer. Next one is, what is a planetarium? And there is one in Karnataka. Where is it? A planetarium is a building in which images of stars, planets and constellations are projected onto a domed ceilings. And there is one in Karnataka. Yes, there is planetarium in Bangalore. That is the Jawaharlal Nehru Planetarium. These are the questions. And one more question also is there. What instrument do astronomers use? Telescope. These are the questions for the pre-reading task. Now let us go to the lesson. Now let us read the first paragraph. It is common knowledge today that the earth is a planet revolving around the sun. But there was a time, not many centuries ago, when even learned men believed that the earth was fixed in space and the sun and all other heavenly bodies went around it. The man who first brought to light the facts about them was the great scientist and astronomer called Galileo Galilei. He was born in the year 1564 in the Italian town of Pisa. Now let us see the explanation of that paragraph. Galileo Galilei was born on 15th February 1564, Pisa in Italy. Now we all know that the earth is revolving around the sun. But in the ancient time, means the olden time, the people used to think that the earth was static. Static means fixed in a place in the space, while all the other celestial bodies like the sun, moon, etc. all used to take round around the earth. This disbelief of the people was shaken by Galileo, who gave light to the facts that the earth was the one that used to revolve around the sun and not the sun around the earth. Light means gave importance or gave the knowledge. Okay. Now let us go to the second paragraph. In the year 1608, a man called Hans Lippershey, a native of Holland, invented the telescope, the instrument with which astronomers watch the skies. The telescope makes distant objects appear to be near and magnified several times over. Third paragraph. When Galileo heard about the invention, he became greatly interested in it. He had at this time begun to study astronomy, and he saw that the invention would be wonderful aid to the astronomer. He set to work on making telescope for himself and very soon succeeded in making one which was better than the one Lippershey had made. Now let us see the explanation. Galileo, when heard about the Hans invention, he became very interested in the invention of the telescope. He then started to study about the astronomy, that is the study of these heavenly bodies, and also felt that this invention would surely work out. He started to work on his invention and also was very soon successful in inventing a telescope which was better that of Lippershey. And he found one new telescope, it is better than the depression. Next paragraph, fourth one. Galileo's telescope was the first that was ever turned towards the stars. Looking through it, he saw 100 times as many stars as he could see with his bare eyes. He looked at the Milky Way, the broad white band of light seen across the sky at night, and found that it contained millions and millions of faint stars. He turned the telescope onto the moon, and what he saw filled him with amazement. On the moon's surface, which seemed so smooth, he saw high mountains and deep valleys like those on earth. Now let us see the explanation. It was Galileo's telescope that were always inclined. Inclined means tilted towards the stars. He then looked through the telescope and saw through it nearly 100 times and saw as many stars as he could with his eyes. He also looked at the various other heavenly bodies like the Milky Way galaxy. The broad white band of light seen across the sky at night, and found that they contained fainted stars. Fainted means not clear. He also saw the moon with the help of the telescope. He was filled with amazement. And he was very interested, he was very wonderful while seeing the moon through the telescope, and that the moon, which seemed as a very smooth surface, had very high mountains and also deep valleys on its surface. He saw high mountains and deep valleys in the moon's surface. Next paragraph, fifth one. Greatly excited by these discoveries, Galileo carried his telescope to Venice and showed it to the learned men of the city. The people of Venice crowded at his house to have a look at the looking tube. They took it to the top of high buildings and looked through it at the ship out in the sea. They saw ships 50 miles away appearing to be only 15 miles off. When the rulers of Venice was shown the instrument, he was greatly pleased with the invention and appointed Galileo professor for life at the University of Padua. Now let us see the explanation. And Galileo was deeply excited with his discovery, and he carried the telescope to Venice and showed it to the people who were well learned in that city. The people of the Venice gathered and Galileo to have a look through the looking tube. Looking tube means telescope. They took it to the top of the high building and took a look at the ship in the seas, and they used it to see the ships that were 50 miles away, which appeared only 15 meters away. Then the ruler of the Venice was shown to the telescope. He was very pleased. Pleased means happy with the invention, and appreciated Galileo, and he appointed the Galileo as the professor of the life at the University of Padua. With this, today's class I am going to wind up, and next class we will continue the lesson. I hope you all are understood this one. Thank you, students.